Hello, beautiful people. Bonjour, mes beautés. This is your girl Nancy here. Welcome back on my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about 10 things to help you be successful in nursing school. Those are the 10 things that helped me throughout nursing school, and I'm sure that it's going to help you. So if you find any values in these videos, please go ahead, like and subscribe. Okay, so let's go to tip number one. Get your pen and paper ready and go. Tip number one, make sure you utilize the resources that are available at your school. The library, for example, at my school, it was a library. At the library, we had tutors for biology, chemistry, and even English. So, as we all know, English is not my first language. I am a French speaking girl. So, having to write those essays and having to do my researches and APA formatting those were not my best areas. So, I had to go to the library. Those people are there, they're available to help you. They are willing to help. You just go prepared with your questions, have your rough draft ready. If it's for English, if it's anything else, just show them that you already started doing the work, and then they'll walk you through the process, and you will find out that you'll be very successful by utilizing those resources. Tip number two, find yourself a mentor. We can all testify that nursing school professors can be mean. Some of them can be mean, but you have great professors. You have angels that God sent, to help us throughout the nursing school. So make sure that you get to know them. What I used to do was to go at their offices, at the office hours, to introduce myself at the beginning of the semester, and then you can stop by after school, stop by at the office hours if you missed an important subject or you did not get a concept. They are always willing to explain more, go into depth with the explanations, and give you resources, websites, and PDFs, things that will help you understand more. And guess what? Sometimes they will even give you some tips about the exam because they love talking, they're passionate about the job. So even while explaining to you, they will give you some tips about the exam that might recognize later during the exam. So make sure you are friends with your faculty members, your mentors. You will need them after nursing school. You will need recommendation letters. You will need recommendation letters for jobs, for higher education, if you want to go for your master's or your MT or your doctorate degree. So tip number three, make sure you have a group, study group. Make sure you find yourself 2, 3 friends that are as smart as you or smarter than you. Not in a bad way, but you want to have people that are at the same level of understanding as you, because you don't have time to wait. You don't have time to be explaining concepts to someone. So you have to be able to be on the same page, understand together, and then explain to each other. So make sure I don't do well with large groups because I get distracted. So throughout nursing school, I had 2 of my friends, good, great friends. If you watch my first video, I talk about my friends and how I got the job offer, and I told them to go apply. So just to tell you that through nursing school, you will make real friends because you go through the stress together. You go through life-changing moments together where you have no life, you have no friends, but then you cry together, you stress together, you laugh together. So just make sure you have good friends that you study with. It helps with networking because until today, we're still great friends. We text each other about opportunities and job offers, or anything important in nursing is happening. We're always in touch with each other. So tip number four, make sure you stay organized. You want a planner. You want to have a planner. Nursing school is heavy. You will have classes and you have clinicals. So you have assignments for classes, assignments for clinicals, homework for classes, for clinicals. Everything is double. So you want to stay on top of your assignments. You do not want to forget a quiz that you could have 20 out of 20 and get a zero because you forgot about it and you did not have it in your planner. You want to have a planner. Here an example. I still have my planner from 2020. It's important, and you go back to those notes, and it reminds you of those times. But now you're happier. You're done with nursing school. Stay on top of your homeworks, on top of your assignments, because you do not want to miss any point, because 0.05 can be very important at the end of the semester when they're putting all those notes together for you to pass or fail a class. So stay on top of your work. So tip number 5 and 6 are kind of almost the same. Make sure you find yourself a study guide. There are a lot of study guides out there. My favorite one was the Saunders Comprehensive Study Guide for NCLEX. So the NCLEX will be your licensure exam that will allow you to practice. So if there's any subject that you're not comfortable with, let's say my less favorite concept was the pharmacology. So I got myself a Saunders review study guide in pharmacology. So that helps you with the key points for your exams, and also it gave you a lot of practice questions. So find yourself study guides and just go through those after your lectures, okay? And also read your PowerPoints before school, before class. Make sure you do your readings. So there's a lot of steps that I use to help me. So do your readings, because you will have assigned pre-assignment assigned chapters. So do your readings, take notes, highlight, read your your PowerPoint, and then go to school. So once you get to school, you will have those concepts already down in your brain. Then the teachers will go through the most important, the key points, what they want you to remember as a nurse and for the exams. So do that. You will see that it's going to help you a lot. Tip number 6, get yourself an app, a good study app. So the best app out here is the U-Word app. It's expensive. It's a little on the pricey range, but let me tell you something. That app is wonderful. It has more than 4,000 questions, practice questions. So it goes by subject. So you have OB, pharmacology, fundamentals, basic care. You can select any subject that you want. But for me, I studied whenever I had time. I would just select 10 questions or 15 questions and go through them. You'll be amazed how your brain muscle will be able to just suck in that information, because after every question, when you're done taking the exam, you will have rationale for every question. And then they have pictures, they have wonderful explanations on that app. It's the most amazing app. It helped me a lot. I remember before I applied for nursing school, I was taking my prerequisites. So I was talking to everybody, hey, I want to be a nurse. So when I used to go to my doctor's appointment, I would talk to the nurses. One of the nurses told me about the U word, how it helped her. And that stayed in the back of my mind. So first semester, I went to talk to my clinical professor, and she was also teaching fundamentals. And I asked her what I needed to do in order to be successful at nursing. And she told me she had a list of those study apps, and her top one was UWord. So I was like, okay, this is the winner. So I saved money for that, right? As a nursing student, single mommy here, working 2 jobs, not much money. So I saved for the app. I was able to purchase the app at the beginning of nursing school, and I was doing just 10 questions a day, just 10 exam questions a day per my professor. That will help you. Just think about 10 questions a day until graduation and get ready for NCLEX. That was very helpful. And those questions will help you for your exams, nursing school exams, and also the NCLEX exam. Tip number 7, make sure that you use every opportunity to learn. And that's for your clinical rotation. Do not be scared of getting your hands dirty. Okay. When you go to clinicals with your professors, or when you start going by yourself on your own, I believe in third and fourth semester, you'll be going by yourself. You have an assigned nurse. So make sure that you use every opportunity to learn. Don't be scared to ask them to see or to be there to participate at a Foley insertion and YouTube insertion, colostomy bag change, or trach suctioning, or IV starting, or lab draw. Because the more you practice, the better you get, right? So make sure you jump on every opportunity to learn, because that will help you a lot upon graduation, and when you'll be on your own as a nurse. At least you already practiced and did few of those things throughout your nursing career, your nursing school. Also, if you have time during your clinical rotations, because there's always downtime, right? Let's say you're doing OB, and then there's no mother's delivery. At that time, you can get your nurse's pocket guide. So I had this helped me a lot with diagnosis, prioritization for all my care plans. I use this, right? So use that time to research your medication. So I had the nursing drug reference. Right? You can see that I used it a lot, right? So you need to research your drugs, write it down for your care plans. So have these handy in your bag, in your book bag, or if you're more of an app person, they have those in apps. I love reading my books and highlighting and everything, so I always had this handy. So at a downtime during my clinical rotation, I would just start researching, because guess what, you'll be saving time by the time you go home. Instead of starting working on your care plans and everything, if you already have a rough draft, you can just get some rest because you need rest. We're going to talk about rest after all. You can get some rest and then go back at studying. So use every single moment that you have free to research or ask questions and jump on opportunities that you have in the hospital. Tip number 8. This is what everybody will tell you. When embarking in the nursing school journey, get yourself mentally ready. Prepare yourself to give up on friendships, on parties, on family gets together. It's for 2 years or 4 years, depending on which program you're going for. But think about it, sacrificing on social life for 2 years and then being able to enjoy later because after all, I work three nights, right? 3 nights a week, and I'm off 4 days. It's not all the time that I want to pick up overtime. I'm off 4 days, so I get to schedule myself beginning of the week 3 days, and then 3 other days at the end of the other week, so I can have 8 days off traveling, spending time with my kids, and just catching up with life. But it came with a sacrifice, so just make sure that you prepare yourself mentally to sacrifice in on a lot, right? Let your loved one know that it's for a moment and then it's gonna end. And at the end of everything, you will be successful in life and you'll be able to enjoy. And guess what? You have people that are going to stay and people that are going to leave around that time. So the ones that are supporting you will stay, and the ones that can't will just go, and you will gain more friends. They will tell you beginning of every nursing school, they'll tell you you can work, you can have a job, you can do this and that. But in my case, I was a single mother to twins. I had to take care of my children and go to school. So I was working 2 jobs. I was working nights and uh, and I was able to study while I was working sometimes, right? If I was not too tired. And then I go home during the day. I had classes and I had my children to take care of. I was barely sleeping 3 hours or 4 hours. It was worth it. I'm not complaining. But yes, be able to sacrifice some time and family time and everything. Tip number 9 uh, is a continuity of tip number 8. Make sure you surround yourself with positive people. Lots of people will try to discourage you and they will tell you how hard it is, how you have no life, how it's not worth it. Let me tell you something, nursing is worth it. If you're thinking about it, jump into it. It's very, very rewarding. It's a great career. You can start as a bedside nurse and end up doing so many things. There's so many areas in nursing. You can end up teaching, be a case manager, be a health coach, be a travel nurse. I'm a travel nurse now, and I'm enjoying every single part of it. So people will try to discourage you. Keep yourself surrounded by only positive people. Remove the negative Nancy's, remove the negative people around you. You do not need that. Okay. And finally, tip number 10, self-care. I know it's a lot. I've talked a lot. You'll be like, hey, Nancy, I'm not sure if I want to do it. Let me tell you something. If your girl, Nancy, I was able to do it as a single mommy, as an international student, as a non-English speaking student, guess what? You can do it. Jump into it. Just go for it. Believe and trust God in the process. So self-care is very important. I know there's a lot to do, right? There's so much to do and get used to, but you have to take care of yourself. Take one day out of the week or half a day. My self-care process was spending quality time with my little ones and then going for a massage or a spa day, pedicure, manicure, and getting a good massage. That was helping me regain my sanity because the stress is high. You can get discouraged. You can be mentally exhausted. But take that half a day of watch your favorite show, binge on social media. I know I have some friends that deleted all their social media. They did not have social media during nursing school. Binge on Netflix. Do something that makes you happy. If it's food that makes you happy, just go enjoy your food. But you have to have that half a day a week of self care so you can go through nursing school and be successful. So those are my tips. I hope those help you. If you like the tips, go ahead, comment below, and please subscribe for more videos like this and to help your girl grow. Thank you so much, guys, and see you next week.